Hey guys, it's Leah. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my July 2020 bullet journal setup. Super excited for this video. If you guys like this type of video or this kind of bullet journal content, make sure to give this a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and turn on those post notifications so you get notified every time I post a video. And with that, let's get into this July theme.
Also, if you haven't already, go check out my Instagram. It's @Bujo by Leah. Alright, so getting straight into this plan with me. This month's theme is camping and or nature themes. So I was super excited when I learned my family was going camping this summer. So I decided to take that as some inspiration and draw kind of a scene from where you might go camping. So I included a tent, a fire, a log for sitting on. Normally there are chairs or something like that, but a log was a lot easier to draw and wasn't so big. And then I included a river and some trees and mountains, which is fitting because me and my family are going camping to a place that has a lot of mountains and trees. So I'm pretty excited about how this cover page actually looked at the end of it. But I'm just shading the inside of the tent to make it look like it's more, has more depth, and then adding these lines to the tent to make it look like it has more dimension as well. I'm drawing in this river, trying to make it look like we are far away from the mountains and the trees, just trying to give it a little bit more dimension. And I actually really like how the mountains turned out in the background. I also added a ton of little trees in the background just to add in another color to this page. I'm coloring it in a bit, but overall, I love how these little trees came out. The font that I decided to go with for July is a more tall and skinny font because I thought it fit more with the theme, but I also have been doing a cursive font for the last month, so I wanted to switch it up. Plus, I thought it was just kind of a nice font that I don't use very often, so I was going to throw it in. I am currently shading the mountains just to give the mountains a little bit more depth as well. So for the colors of this month, I decided for the tent to color it this really pretty bright orange color because I thought it really popped on the page, so that it was kind of the main point. I colored all the logs and the fire a brown, and then the fire is, of course, fire colors. I used a really, really dark evergreen color for the trees because I wanted there to be more of a dark color thrown in there for a more different color palette almost, and then ended up drawing some little rocks in the river so that it looked more like a river, I guess. Whenever I go to the river, I always like to play with the rocks. So I thought I would include them in because I just thought that they added so much more to it. I'm just adding some lines to make it look like the river is moving. And then I'm just going to go in with a Tombow Dual brush pen, this light blue one, and color the entire river in. I really liked how I used a light color for the river, so it wasn't it popped more as a light color. I really, really liked how it looked in the end. The last thing I'm doing to this cover page is just putting more dimension strokes, I guess as I would call them, into the mountains to make them look bigger and better. And then just quickly adding a sun in the sky because everybody likes sunshine. All right, going over to the quote page. The quote I chose this month is, "Let's go on a camping trip to see the great outdoors." It's actually in a song, and I don't know which song. I just know that that's a song. So I used that quote, but I didn't know where it was from, so I accidentally didn't add who sang it. But anyway, I decided to stick with 3 fonts, a tall and skinny font, a more bold font, and then also a cursive font. And I also added a banner in the middle of this quote just to break up all of the just text lines. That's what I'm calling them. Which was a super fun add-in. I really loved how it kind of just broke everything up, and I colored it the bright orange color again, which I just loved this bright orange color this month. I didn't know how much I liked orange until I used this color in this theme, but it really is a super awesome color. It's just a Crayola Super Tip marker, but I just broke up everything, and then I also just added the blue onto the Go arrow, and then at the bottom I ended up doing some mountains. I don't know why I didn't do like a camping trip scene, but it was already the cover page, so I ended up just doing more mountains because I'm going camping in the mountains, so I was pretty set on mountains. I don't know why, but I just shade them in, also do more of that dimension looking mountains, and then ended up doing some drop shadows on the cursive font too. All right, moving on to this month's calendar. For the past few months, I've done a more vertical style calendar, but this month I thought it would be more fitting for my schedule to do a side calendar. I don't know how to describe it. This page is sideways. On top, I'm just doodling some different camping doodles, a tent, a fire with a pot on top, cooking something, a log, and then over on the side, I decided to add a little camper just because there was some space, and I thought that because campers go camping all the time, it was fitting. So I just added that in as a little touch too, as well as my July header, which is the same font I used for the cover page as well. Just doing the calendar with the boxes. I'm pretty sure these boxes are 5 spaces across and 4 spaces down. The last calendar I did like this, I ended up doing just 4x4, and I thought that they were a little bit too small, so this month I ended up doing more of a bigger box, which ended up helping me more when I was planning out everything. And just the last final thing I did for this spread was, of course, add all of the days of the week headers, all of the little doodles. I colored those all in and added all the days of the month into the calendar. Going over to the mood and habit tracker for this month, I was super excited to do this one just because I love the campfire and roasting marshmallows around it. So I just drew a large campfire in the middle of a circular ring of days, or the days of my mood. So I'm just coloring the fire in and then outlining the entire circle. I ended up doing red, orange, and yellow for the fire, and then kind of blending them all out with all the different colors at the end too, because I didn't want it to look too blocky, but I think it ended up looking pretty good. And then I just outlined all of the marshmallows on the sticks. I love roasting s'mores by the campfire. It's one of my favorite things to do while camping. So I knew I had to include it in this setup because it just is such a fun thing to draw. I'm just adding all of the headers with the mood tracker on top. The habit tracker is it looks like an afterthought in this spread, but it is not. It just needed to be at the bottom because I didn't want it in the side, and I decided to make the mood tracker more of the focal point for this month. I'm just finishing the mood tracker with dividing all the little sections. I ended up having 32. And since this month only has 31 days, I just X'd out that extra one and wrote in all of the numbers for the days in all of the little squares. All of the supplies I'm using are pretty much my Microns, my Tombow Dual Brush Pen, and some Crayola Super Tips, and one Tombow Dual Brush Pen for the light blue color. But I'm just using 6 different colors this month. I forgot to put them in to track the mood. And then just finishing off this spread with the habit tracker. I didn't need a full 31 days of the habit tracker just because I'm traveling and I really don't want to track my habits during that time. I just want to have fun. But I did want to track my mood because I'm sure it'll be a really happy time for me. So that's what I'm doing for all of my mood and habit stuff. It is travel time, everybody. Last spread of this setup. It's a weekly 2-week spread, basically. At the top, I did a header and tried to make it look like it was a map. It says travel time because I'm going on vacation. Sorry guys, I keep saying that, but I'm just super stoked. And what I did to kind of make it look like a map was draw 2 destination points basically, and then connect them with little lines, signal it's traveling. And then just colored in the letters for travel time in this bright mustard color that I really love using. I didn't color the whole thing brown, even though I thought of doing that, just because I thought it might be a little bit too crazy. But I divided all of the sections, I did fourths, with my colors of the month. And then also you'll see me divide the page in half. But right now I am just adding all of the headers. This is a pretty simple spread. That is what I wanted because I want to be able to track what we did that day and just have kind of a blank spread to fill in. I'm super, super excited to use it. Hopefully I do. But yeah, this is my weekly spread, but it's more than a week. So that's kind of what I had this spread for. That is the end of this plan with me. This is the final flip through of all of the spreads I did. Super, super, super excited about this month. I love how it all turned out. If you guys like these kinds of videos, of course, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next video.